Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. I hope you're having a great weekend. So we actually just got in the last hour some new updates on the new Tesla carbon wrapped motor and rotors. So I definitely want to share that with you and a couple of other news items from the weekend as well. But first, to help you understand these tweets that Elon just shared, I want to show you two quick clips. They're literally like 30 seconds each, but it will help you to understand Elon's tweets a little bit better when we get there.
Motors are typically run by a rotor and a stator. The stator is stationary and is the magnetic poles typically that revolve around the outside of the rotary. Using an AC induction and DC permanent magnet motor as an example, the AC motor has windings as the DC motor has magnets as the stator. The windings in the AC motors serve as an electromagnet. The rotor is the rotational object, such as the shaft, that will physically move. The motor poles will determine how fast the motor will go and are also attracted and repelled to the magnetic properties of the stator element, thus creating torque.
So getting into it, Alex tweeted, magnetic strength of neodymium magnets decreases at 80 degrees Celsius or 176 degrees Fahrenheit, and magnetism can be permanently lost if the magnets are left for an extended period of time at a temperature above that 80 degrees Celsius. The carbon fiber matrix is generally cured at a temperature between 100 and 130 degrees Celsius. And 130 degrees Celsius is 266 degrees Fahrenheit, so one of the benefits of carbon. But before we get to Elon's tweet, just to help us understand what Alex just said here, a couple of things. Neodymium magnets, they have cemented their position as the most popular magnet in many applications. Industries like electrical motor manufacture. There you go. Because of their super strength, incredible performance, and resistance to demagnetization, they can be made in many shapes and sizes. And when you hear the term matrix, like Alex said, carbon fiber matrix, just think binding. We don't need to go too into the weeds here, but matrix is like when a material or a composite is binded together and how that actually happens. In case you need more, the matrix binds the fiber reinforcement and gives the composite component its shape and determines its surface quality. A composite matrix may be a polymer, ceramic, metal, or carbon. And there's a lot of jargon and technical terms in this space, but if you see CFRPs, just think carbon fiber reinforced polymers. Once again, kind of another form of a carbon fiber matrix. They're extremely strong and light fiber reinforced plastics that contain carbon fibers. CFRPs can be expensive to produce, but are commonly used wherever high strength to weight ratio and stiffness or rigidity are required. Properties of the final CFRP product can be affected by the type of additives introduced to the binding matrix or the resin. Once again, matrix, binding this material together. The most common additive is silica, but others like rubber and carbon nanotubes have been used. So here we go, Elon's response. The plaid carbon wrapped motor is arguably the most advanced motor on Earth, outside of maybe a lab somewhere. We have to keep some secrets. Now, of course, Tesla is not going to tell us everything. They have to keep some secret sauce, but I knew that they were going to share at least a little bit more detail about the carbon wrapped motor. It seemed like something that deserved more time at the event, but they probably didn't want to nerd out for the mainstream audience, but I knew something like this would be coming soon. We have a few ideas for increasing torque and max RPM even further for the new Roadster. Definitely fun and exciting engineering ahead. Alex kept the convo going. The carbon fiber sleeves of the new Tesla plaid rotors, are they direct wound or pressed on? Elon responded, the fiber is wound over the rotor at high tension load. Machine to do this was made by Tesla Automation. So if you're wondering if other companies can just copy this strategy with an off-the-shelf option, my intuition would tell me no, given that right here, Tesla Automation made a specific machine just for this task. The competitive advantage list for Tesla continues to grow. The carbon sleeve must put copper rotor in compression or it loosens at low temperatures due to differential thermal expansion. So if you think about it, if you have the motor and the rotors in a cold environment, well, while the motors are working and moving in that electromagnetic field, of course, the temperature is going to heat up, and it is this expansion and contraction that can actually loosen some of those components, which the carbon fiber sleeve is going to probably not eliminate, but reduce to a great degree. Preload is also helpful for maintaining precise gap to stator. And it's things like this preload and the wrapping at the high tension load, whereas this interconnection of the stator and the rotor is going to be achieved with a micron-like precision that Tesla and Elon have been talking about. And this innovation should not only lead to more efficiency when it comes to the motor performance, torque and RPM, speed, performance, all of that, but also longevity of the motor because of this carbon fiber matrix. Elon continues, the main advantage of this is a much stronger electromagnetic field compared with a rotor that is held together by metal, usually high strength steel. The other advantage is that the rotor can go to higher RPMs as a carbon sleeve mostly stops copper rotor from expanding due to radial acceleration. And if you remember a few weeks back, that video I made about copper, you'll be reminded that that metal is such a crucial element to the electrification movement. As you can see, this new carbon fiber wrapping is going to stop the copper rotor from expanding due to radial acceleration. And so maybe we'll do a deep dive in the future on this topic, but for now, here are your two main takeaways. Tesla has the most advanced motor on the planet, most likely, and this carbon fiber wrapped innovation that seemingly lends to that best motor on the planet is made by Tesla Automation. It is not an off-the-shelf option. It is something that right now, as far as we know, only Tesla can do in-house. So now the question becomes, are we going to see this on the Model X, on the Model 3? Why? I don't know, only time will tell. What do you guys think? But there's actually more for today. Elon kept it going on Twitter. Cointelegraph posted this article about Elon basically manipulating the Bitcoin markets. It's an easy clickbait topic for media articles right now, but Elon finally chimed in saying this is inaccurate. Tesla only sold about 10% of holdings to confirm Bitcoin could be liquidated easily without moving the market. When there's confirmation of reasonable around 50% clean energy usage by miners with a positive future trend, Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin transactions. And look, I don't want to pat myself on the back here, but I have been saying for weeks now, once Elon feels good about the energy mining situation and breakdown with Bitcoin, they will absolutely get involved again. It just makes too much sense. I will say I was surprised that Tesla hasn't sold more than 10% after that breakup tweet he made a week or maybe 2 weeks ago. I just really personally don't understand why he's doing that, still holding Bitcoin. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But I will say to some degree, I still feel like Elon thinks the Bitcoin and crypto thing is kind of like a game. And I know he wants to enjoy all of this because he always talks about how the most likely outcome is the most enjoyable or the most ironic. So who knows where his mind is really at, but good information to have. A different Alex also shared that Starlink is in talks with several airlines to beam internet to their airplanes, the project's vice president said during a conference panel on Wednesday. This, according to John Hoffler, SpaceX's VP of Starlink and commercial sales. That would be awesome, Starlink internet on the airplanes. And in case you missed it, this is pretty cool. There is a custom Model S Plaid at Laguna Seca Raceway right now. This was, I believe, on Saturday. So here you can see the Plaid design on the roof of the car with the crazy spoiler and the designs on the front. And you have Randy Popst right here. The back and some more pictures here. So what exactly are they doing? We're not sure yet. This is seemingly a developing story, but it looks like we could see some new potentially record-breaking numbers here over the next few days. But even if we don't, just taking a look at this car with the aftermarket wheels and the stripped interior and the stripped down front, pretty crazy. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what they are up to. A quick Giga Berlin item, Tesla wants to buy the existing track that runs directly next to the Giga site. It currently belongs to the private railroad operator DRE. Negotiations are already underway. This would allow the finished cars to be transported away in an environmentally friendly manner. This was also reiterated by Alex, who has been covering Giga Berlin reliably for some time now. Tesla intends to buy a few 100 meters of rail track on the factory site, once again owned by DRE. According to media sources, it's planned that supply material is delivered by rail and also the transport of finished vehicles, if possible, fully done by rail, which would be environmentally friendly. So hopefully this will appease some of the environmentalists over at Giga Berlin that have been waving the fist for some time now. But more exciting is thinking about finished cars being pumped out of Giga Berlin here in the next few months, regardless of how they are being delivered. But that's all for today. Please take a second to like this video if you did. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and a big thank you to everybody on the next screen.